Today we are reviewing the mod AlphaEverything by Hexen Lord, available for both PC and consoles. As the name suggests, this mod will turn everything alpha. Now don't worry, I don't actually mean everything, as we aren't all masochists here like Ghoul with Gruul. So what this mod actually does is give every tameable creature the chance to spawn in as an alpha variant. Now in terms of their difficulty, all alpha creatures will be 1.25 times the size of their vanilla counterparts, and will have 2.5 times the stats. As you can see, if I hover over them, each one's about 2.5 for these two dodos. Obviously, these multipliers can be altered in the mod settings, so you can adjust the mod and adapt it to your preferences. So as I mentioned before, this mod affects every tameable creature. As you can see, we've got an alpha dodo here, we've got an alpha gallimimus, and also other things like paracers and many others, even stuff like a Karchar. Now, the only creatures that the mod doesn't work on is anything that is untamable, such as bosses. Obviously, you wouldn't want the dragon being 2.5 times harder than it already is. Now, in case you're wondering, this mod does actually work for both vanilla and other modded creatures, as long as there are no conflicts between the two mods. As you can see here, I have an alpha variant of a burning skeletal triceratops, which is from the shiny Dinos Ascended mod. Unlike the regular Ark alphas, these modded ones can actually be tamed and used, making them a must-have companion in your next Ark playthrough. To tame them, you must use the normal taming method, whether that's knock it out, or another passive method like feeding it dead dinos. Then once it's tamed, they will use their normal saddles if required, obviously, allowing you to ride them and use them as you see fit. Alright, so moving on to items, the mod does add one new item which can only be spawned in using the admin command console. This is the Alpha Gun. So if I quickly go in the command console, get this, here we go. Here, the Alpha Gun. Basically, what this will do will turn any creature into an alpha when shot. As you can see, here's my test subject, Mr. Ankylosaurus. We shoot him, boom, alpha, straight away. Obviously, you got a lot bigger, and the stats also multiplied. Now, this is good for obviously anyone if they want a specific alpha and can't find it, or it's also good for people like me who are trying to make content and don't have to go and search for every single alpha on the map. Thank you, Hexen Lord, for that. So, what I will do is I will leave the command for this in the description below. Obviously, like I said before, you can only use it if you're an admin or if you are in single player. Right, so I mentioned earlier about changing the settings to suit your playthrough. So I'm going to quickly just show you how to do that. So obviously you have to figure out where Ark is located on your PC. So mine would be in Steam. Then we go to Steam Apps. Then we go to Common, Ark Survival Ascended. Then we go Shoot a Game, Saved, Config, Windows. And then we get all of these different things. Now the one we're looking for is Game User Settings right here. So double click on that, and then that should open up in a notepad. Obviously, you may need to tell it to do that if you've not done that before. So here we have all the settings. Now be careful, don't go throwing it around willy-nilly. Don't go just changing whatever, or you could really mess up your game. So just scroll past all of these. Usually, your modded stuff will be towards the bottom. Sometimes it is in the middle. We'll be towards the bottom. So here we go. As you can see, we have AlphaEverything right here. And these are the different settings that we can alter to do whatever we want with. Now, if this isn't here, I'll leave it in the description and basically just copy and paste it in on a new line. So press enter, get yourself a new line, and copy and paste it. It has to have this banner here, and then all the things underneath. So, what have we got? We've got AlphaChance here. This will basically increase the chance of a creature becoming an alpha. So the higher this is, the more consistently you'll have alphas in your world. Blacklist allows you to basically type in a dino's name, and that will stop it from becoming an alpha. So if you didn't want alpha dodos, for example, you'd put in the dodo line for that. TameAlphas True, obviously this allows you to tame alphas. If you're on a server and you don't want people taming them, then obviously just turn this to false. Aggressive True is basically making it so that the alphas will be aggressive to you. And so obviously if you don't want them attacking you, turn that off as well. Obviously they will attack if you attack them though. AggroRange is basically how far the aggressive range of the alphas will be. So the higher you put this, the more they'll find you and the harder your time will be. The lower you put it, you'll be able to walk past them a lot easier without them actually noticing you are there. Then we have AlphaStats. As I mentioned before, this is the multiplier which will affect the alpha's stats. Makes sense, I guess. So the higher you put this, the more powerful they'll be. The lower you put it, the weaker they'll be. And obviously AlphaSize, this will increase the size of the creature. So if you want some stupidly gigantic alphas, then you can increase this. And if you want some teeny tiny ones, put this down. And obviously finally we have ChibiXP. This will basically allow it, so if you kill the alpha, your chibi will get XP when this is true. And obviously if you turn it false, your chibi won't get anything at all. So that's how you basically change these. Make sure whatever you change, keep it exactly the same. Don't put any extra spaces. Don't do anything like that. Don't put like a comma or a full stop, or you won't work. So once you're done with that, obviously if you make a change, let's say I change this to 2.6. Oh, I moved down. So once I go to close this out, it will save. And there we go. And then next time we load up Ark, that should all work. So the positive with this mod is that it adds new creatures which fit into normal Ark, as they only become alpha variants, so you can keep your realism if that's something you enjoy. Obviously the alpha versions are much stronger tames, so they can help you in the late game against the bosses. Also this mod can affect other mods which can make for a more unique playthrough, and doesn't actually conflict with many of them either. So the negatives is that the alpha colors don't always show. Apparently this is a problem on the wildcard side, so it is being fixed. And then also there is no special loot from killing the alphas. Now I feel like this needs to be added, as I'm going through the risk of taming and killing these alphas. I'd like to see a little bit of a reward, whether it's something unique or even just a regular alpha loot. This mod is a great addition to any Ark playthrough, whether it's heavily modded or a vanilla with a few extras added on, as the creatures won't completely change the game, and I feel could easily fit into Ark. Now as always, I will leave the link to the mod page at the top of the description for you to check out yourself. Now at its current state, I would give Hexen Lord's AlphaEverything mod a 8 alpha compies out of 10. So let me know, have you tried AlphaEverything? Leave your thoughts on the mod in the comments below, and suggest other mods you want me to review. Now if you've enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe, as in the next one we'll be looking at Runic Wyverns by Wolf of the Night.